getting admission into this institution, which has so much of legacy of Dr.HN Narasimhaiah. So this college always stands unique with open education. So we have a lot of other programs for holistic education here. We have a lot of other programs here, including so cultural development also. Okay. So right now, I just want to let you know, we have a science club and we have a social science club. So we have science and social science club, and I'm just telling you on behalf of all the staff of National College that your participation is definitely required. So we want you to be actively participating in order to holistically develop yourselves. So we have a Google form. So you become the members of Science and Social Science Club. So wherein we may, some of you become the volunteers. And we want you to, give feedback. We want to talk to you. So every now and then, we want to organize programs here such that, that will be benefit for you. Okay. So we need you to tell us what you want. Okay. So what you want, what you will, what will enable you to grow holistically. Are you interested? Are you all interested in participating? All of you should participate. So voluntarily, some of you should come forward and talk to us. So what you want us to do here, what you want us to organize. So we have been organizing science and social science programs here already. We are organizing lectures here. So we want you to let us know what you need, what kind of workshops or interaction programs. So all that. We give training for UPSC exams. We give training in science, conducting science experiments. So that kind of program so far. So you have to, so your participation is, definitely required here. So Dr. Pratima, she is secretary of Social Science Club, and I'm the secretary for Science Club. So please contact us, and they will get you the Google Forms, and please become the member and get the benefit out of this. Thank you all. Good morning to you all. I welcome you all to the 2954th lecture of Bangalore Science Forum. A hearty welcome to the chief guest speaker today, Dr. Shivkumar Sastry. So I also welcome Dr. Chandrasekhar, who's present here today. And I also welcome to the Vice Principal, Professor Alakananda Madam. Also welcome Dr. Pratima, the Secretary of Bangalore Social Science Forum. So let me take the privilege of introducing Dr. Sastry here. Dr. Shivkumar Sastry is a senior academician and researcher with extensive experience in both the United States and India. He is currently a visiting professor in the Department of Instrumentation and Applied Physics at the Indian Institute of Science, and an emeritus professor at the University of Akron, Ohio, where he previously served as professor of electrical and computer engineering and director of strategic initiative. Dr. Sastry holds a PhD in computer engineering and science from Case Western Reserve University, along with master's degrees in computer science from University of Central Florida and electrical engineering from Indian Institute of Science. He earned his bachelor's degree from BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore. His research interests include networked embedded systems, systems engineering, visualization, and AI systems. Earlier in his career, he was a senior research scientist at Rockwell Automation and part of the advanced technology groups at Xerox Corporation in the US. Following his retirement from the University of Akron in 2023, he briefly served as Pro Vice Chancellor at Dayanand Sagar University and now advises CDAC and Atria Institute of Technology in Bangalore. So again, a hearty welcome to Dr. Sastry.
ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇದು? Well, when they get ready, thank you very much, Professor Sucharita, for the nice introduction, and to Bangalore Science Foundation for inviting me. I see several of my friends here, so thank you for coming and supporting. I believe 99% of you are students. Is that correct? Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning, sir. And I'm going to ask a lot of questions during the talk, right, because I'm a professor. So what I would like you to do is shout the answers loudly. There is nobody monitoring you. Okay, so don't worry about anything else. Just shout out the answers loudly and participate in the lecture, because this lecture is for you. You're first year students, correct? Yes, sir. So I'm hoping to orient you people properly for your studies. So okay. Is that too loud, too soft? ಇದು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ? ಆಯಿತು. Okay, we'll wait for the people to settle down and then we can start. Okay, so two things. First thing is, if you ask your questions, you shout the answers loudly, okay? Don't worry if you're wrong. The second thing is, if you don't understand something, because some of the words may be not geared directly towards you, just put your hand up and ask for the meaning, okay? So, because we want to make the lecture useful to you. So today I'm going to talk about mostly this thing called hands-on skills. How many of you know what hands-on skills are? Not many? That's good. That means you're in the right place. So, if this doesn't work, there is an outline for the talk. I'm going to go through a lot of detail, but mostly on examples. Okay, so examples are easy for everybody to understand, correct? So we'll try to work with examples as much as possible. Can you read all this carefully? Should we turn the lights on? Should we turn the lights off on the stage, please? Okay. If you can see it, very good. So hands-on skills are practical experiential abilities. Experiential means when you do it, you get some experience, right? Experiential abilities usually involves using tools, instruments, software, and today everything is run by AI and software, correct? And we don't use them just for fun. It is not that we're using the tools for games or something like that. Okay, we're trying to solve problems. We're trying to solve problems, we're trying to conduct experiments, or we're trying to build something, build some systems that will be useful for you, because we want you to connect what you're learning in school, in college, theoretical knowledge, with how they are used in the world. Is that clear to everybody? Yes, sir. Hands-on skills? Yeah? And the question is, first question is this focus on hands-on skills new or old? Have you been doing it for a long time, or is just starting to talk about it now because you had not heard about it? Old? Old. Old is the right answer. Because we are, in India, we are blessed with an old culture and a very rich legacy. That means people have done a lot of things before us, and we have many good examples to follow. Who knows about this person? Yeah, thanks to my friend Maya Chandra and her team. They put this video together. Of course, they were not alive 2,700 years ago. But this video has been generated by AI. Yeah? Sage Sushruta lived 2,700 years ago or before in Kashi, in Varanasi. And what is he doing there? How many of you know he is called the father of modern surgery? Did you know about that? He's called the father of modern surgery because he invented a lot of surgical tools, 128 or 130 of them together. And many traveling people came, took his ideas, translated it to other native languages, including Latin. And what he started 2,700 years ago in India is found in many surgery rooms today. More about this later. But at least in India, for 2,700 years, we have very good examples that people were just not reading manuscripts or writing shlokas. They were actually doing work to help the people. Good? You understand Sage Shruta? Who is this person? You know, recent time, correct? He solved real problems. When there was floods in Hyderabad, he made solutions. He built bridges, dams, industrial complexes. He did not sit in an office and give directions to other people. He worked by himself. Yeah? So those are examples of more modern hands-on skills. What about this? Who knows? Who recognizes some pictures here? Recognize anything? They're all accomplishments of ISRO in India. That's the solar probe, it's the Mars lander, Mars orbiter, it's the moon lander, launch vehicle, satellites. So we've been having a very successful space program for a long time. All this doesn't happen without hands-on skills, right? You understand what hands-on skills are. You have to build systems, solve problems, conduct experiments to do something useful for the community. Yeah? Now, I spent 35 years in the US and came back about 2 years ago to Bangalore. And what I found is somehow things have changed. Somehow things have changed. And it forces me to ask the question, are we preparing people like the examples we just saw? We saw 3 good examples, right? Are you all ready to be like them? You have to try, right? But do you know how to try? That is some question, because we want people to be trained here, perform here, because for 25 years I have seen young students like you, same people like you, when you come to American universities, within 6 months, you change and you start performing the way we expect you to perform. And somehow that's not happening here. There's a big difference, right? So hands-on skills is not just for engineers and scientists, it's for everybody. For artists, I showed you a good example of an art video, correct? That was created with art, by artists, with engineering input, with modern AI tools. So it was not one discipline that made it. So art students, social science students, humanities students, business students, commerce students, science, engineering, everybody needs hands-on skills. It's very important. And the question becomes, what are modern examples of hands-on skills? As you start your education, when you go to the laboratories, look for these things. Are you doing some spectrometry, microscope? Are you working with microscopes? Are you doing some prototyping, building something, 3D printing? These are all tools that should be available for you in a modern university or a modern college like National College. Ask where they are and how to use them and how to get trained working with them. Right? Don't let the semester go without learning something new. So these are some examples. Everything is driven by programming and AI today. So make sure you're learning programming well. Make sure you're doing some data collection, specific data. I'll give you very concrete guidance later in the talk. Okay? Make sure you go out and do some field work. If you're studying a transportation problem, don't sit in your class and expect to understand it. Stand on the road. You see problems in traffic outside of the college, right? Stand on the road and see the problems. And when they give you a complex system, when something goes wrong with your cell phone or your computer, do you try to open it and repair it? Or you run to the store? Only one answer is the correct one, okay? And how many of you try to repair it yourself? I don't see too many hands. Is there anybody tries to repair your cell phones or computers by yourself? No. So that's what we need, skills to troubleshoot systems, right? And so when I ask the question, are you, current generation of students, ready for hands-on skills? Is the answer yes or no? Ready to learn? Ready to learn is a good thing. Ready, you already have it? Not much. And you should have first got some before you come to college level, right? But first we should understand why they're important. Why these skills are important, okay? Only when you do work with your hands, when you build systems, when you solve problems, when you try to do something useful, you start understanding what you're going to learn in the college. You learn all abstract things, thermodynamics, electric circuits, fields, and propagation, and complex things like this. You don't really understand how they actually come to life in real world. And that's the first thing it helps you understand. You'll learn that very quickly these complex things and abstract things are not just fun or unnecessary matters. They actually have purpose in making systems work. When you actually try to solve problems, you improve your ability to think differently, innovate, make new things, right? Only if you try with what is available now, you can make new things. That's helpful. When you go look for a job, your employers are not going to pay you for the degree you have. They might hire you initially for the degree you have, but they're not going to continue paying you for the degree you have. They expect you to do work. Pardon? One more time? Okay, I didn't hear that comment, but yes, all these companies expect you to work, and hands-on skills will make your career ready. This is something you don't learn in class. It is not enough. None of the problems we face, I'm going to show you some of the serious problems we face, none of the problems can be solved by any one person. Not by you, not by me, not by any individual person. It requires you to work with teams, and the first thing you have to do with teams is you have to learn how to talk with each other. Yep. And that is a serious problem in today's generation. Whether you're trying to marry someone, you're trying to get an employer to give you a job, or you're trying to get along with your colleagues at work, you have to learn to communicate. And working in teams to develop hands-on skills will help you do that. How many parts are there in cell phone? Who uses cell phones, smartphones? How many of you have a smartphone? Really? Not everybody doesn't have one? Everybody has one. How many parts are in your smartphone? Do you know? How many companies contribute to making your smartphone? Do you know? 350 on average. Yeah, there are 350 components. Forget the electric cars because that is a different story, but how about a hybrid car? How many parts does it have? 3,500. Yeah? So you're working with systems that are complex. There are many, many parts, whether it is a chemical reaction or wiring a circuit or running anything, simulation, anything like that. When you do your work, it gives you the confidence to look at complex systems and work with them. Okay, so would you say hands-on skills are important? Yes or no? Yes. What does it do? It empowers education. What does empowering mean? Who can tell me what empowering means? No? Nobody? It makes your studies useful and applicable to other people. It makes you a better person, makes you a better scientist, makes you a better engineer, makes you a better artist, makes you a better business person, whatever you want to be. Okay. So we understand these things now, why hands-on skills are important. And the question really is, if they're so important, why do you not have them already? Because you've gone, how many of you have done, are you in PUC or you're finished your PUC? And then you finish your PUC after some years of schooling? 10 years? So at least first 4 years we can say you're babies, that's okay. But from grade 4 to grade 12, including PUC, you should have developed some hands-on skills, right? How many of you have hands-on skills now? That seems to be the problem, correct? And why, if you look ahead in engineering education, this problem is not going to change because it is very similar. And since most of your students, I'm not going to dwell on the challenges for hands-on problems. Why hands-on skills are not developing, there are several reasons why this is the case. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I'll quickly go through that so you're aware what's going on. And we'll focus more on what you should do to improve, what you should do to change, okay? Well, somehow in the classrooms that we have today, there's too much emphasis on what is called theory. So that means usually lectures, some notes, and exams are also there. And then when you try to work on something, you try to practice something, there's two problems. First is it takes time. You need time. And second thing is more important, we'll talk about this in more detail later, it'll fail. You're not going to see success on day one. And what do some of your friends tell you? Why are you wasting time? And why are you wasting time on failure? Let's do something more useful, like go to a movie. Or let's go something else, take the theory exam, it's easy, you get your grades, and you get a placement. Correct? So that's peer pressure that is there. It's a cultural problem. You need to see, we'll see how to take control of this thing. Then there are some challenges from the college sides. Industry people, at least what I have seen in 2 years, are not engaging in the right way. Yeah, they're mostly there because some rule tells them they have to be there from the college side or from the industry side. And I don't know how well the teachers are actually trained with hands-on skills. And I also don't know how well practical matters, practice integration is happening in the curricular design. These are complex issues, not something you should worry about, but you should know that there are some operational matters. And then there are some structural matters. India, the numbers are very large. Yeah? The number of students is very, very large. So the scale is very high. And that is something that everybody has to, work with. And so because of the scale, the labs are not sufficient. Sometimes the equipment is not up to date. Sometimes there's a lot of focus on attendance and are you wearing the right kind of dress code and things like that, which are not so important for hands-on skills, but they're just distracting from the main focus. Yeah? And colleges are trying to do the best they can because they are not fully independent, right? So they have constraints to operate from regulatory bodies and all that, so they're trying to do the best they can. But you people need to understand what reduces the motivation for you to develop hands-on skills. Again, I really think the kind of industrial collaboration is not the right way yet. Most of the focus here seems to be on job-specific skills. And how many of you know 50,000 people got laid off in Bangalore in 2024? Did you know that? In software industry? because their skills were not up current and up to date. So the skills they were trained on was not so relevant. One of the large companies let go 700 trainees because their skills were not good after they took the training from the same company. Well, if the training was not good, then who should get the blame? At least half of the blame should be on the trainers, right? So these are serious problems. Somehow our system is changed now to make sure you memorize. It was like that when I was in BMS college. Unfortunately, the same situation right now. And we need to go from there to a different method, which I will tell you. And somehow in our labs, we don't want people to feel bad. We give them curated experiments that will result in a success. Success means a light is going to burn, or a chemical reaction is going to happen, color is going to change, or some gas is going to come. It's all designed for small successes which don't improve learning. So when you see these things, you have to ask certain questions, which I will tell you about a little later. And so exams are focused on marks and placement interviews and all kinds of things. Somehow you people are prioritizing hands-on exams over hands-on skills. You know that, right? Somehow you know if you don't score, your placements are, where you can go to college is affected, where you can get a job is affected, and so that has to change. And I really think the big challenge is the disconnect between what you're learning in college and what really matters in the world. Yep. We have to reduce that gap in some way. And there are some real serious questions for people in the colleges. Should you emphasize practical knowledge? Should you emphasize theoretical skills? Should we change how we conduct our exams? Should we change our lecture methods to have from passive methods to active learning methods? And everybody's trying. So everybody's trying to do all these things. But that's not so important. Okay, what is more important, because you're young, your first semester, this is your first orientation, so it's better to start focusing on what is it that we should do. Right? And it turns out, because of the complicated issues that are involved, it is not a one-person solution. This is a complex problem that has been created over generations. When I say we must solve it, it really means at least 4 groups, and there may be more. You are the first, students. Your parents are also involved in the solution. Your teachers have to be involved in the solution. The colleges you study have to be involved in the solution. All 4 people, all 4 groups have to contribute to the solution. Otherwise, we are not going to go anywhere with this. Okay? Why? Because it's a complicated problem. You didn't create this curriculum. You didn't create the system of education, did you? Yep. But we have to do the best we can with what you have. So, what can you do is a polite question. What must you do is the more important question. Because you have to understand, you're young people, who here doesn't have a dream or an aspiration to become better in life? Is there somebody that says, I've got enough already, I don't need to worry about it? You all want to become something in life, correct? You want to do something important. So there's only 3 ways to do it, right? First, you have to understand what the problem is. Then you have to do something to plan and act. And then you have to do something to review and learn. And then you have to keep doing it over and over again until you've gotten better. There is no shortcut to this problem, right? But the details are a little more involved. So I'm going to give you a little more guidance on how to do. So when I say understand, it is not enough. What I gave you the slides and I said here are the problems, that's not enough. So you need to understand in a little more detail. I'm going to show you very specific examples of hands-on skills, modern hands-on skills. Sushruta's time was a long time ago. That was different. But in the current situation, I already told you why hands-on skills are weak. But you see there are 2 very important lines here. What does this say? Who's you? Yeah. So when I say your role, you should say my role. Okay? Then when I say my, You should, all the 4 groups should say this. This is the teacher should say the same thing. Colleges should say the same thing. Students should say the same thing. Parents should say the same thing. And this, your role, understanding your role, both in the current problem and how to correct it, is very important. Let me at least show you the details and then we can see. And I'm going to give you very specific guidance on how you, at least one method to plan and act and what you can do differently. Okay. Who are science students here? Well, here's 4 examples of hands-on skills you need to master. Okay? Do we have any medical students here? Well, there are some skills for medical students. Well, there's one interest. That's good. Do we have any examples of engineering students here? Well, there's hands-on skills for them. There are examples of mathematics students here. Well, here's examples of hands-on skills for you. Business students, I think they're in a different orientation, but you're here, this is very good, right? Commerce students, art students, how many of our art students? Well, art is changing, yeah? Are you noticing something common in the skills that I've been showing so far? Yeah? I know there are some people interested in journalism, humanities, social engagement, and the modern world is all cross-disciplinary for all these things. So what is the common thing you noticed? Something you noticed common? AI, digital tools, digital creation is here. Whether you like it or not, it is here. It's better to embrace it, right? So you see some examples, correct? Anybody left out? Anybody left out and said that there are no examples for me? Okay, so we've seen good examples of hands-on skills for different disciplines. I've shown you what some of the problems are in the current situation: cultural issues, operational issues, structural issues, motivation issues. We've talked about all that. And everybody in that group of 4, the V group, should realize the situation is what it is because you allowed it to become like this. Everybody has a constraint. You know, the colleges will tell you accreditation bodies and management and budget and all these things. Yes, but if you want to make a difference, you can. Teachers will tell you, no, I like to do these things, but my college doesn't allow this, my college doesn't allow that, I don't have time, I don't have this or that or the other thing. But surely you can find 10% time if you're a teacher and you want to make a difference. Parents will come and tell you, well, you know, first time our children are studying engineering, first in the family, we don't know how to make a contribution, we don't know how to make a change. But I'm going to show you some real practical ways to make a difference. And you people, students, will also tell me the same thing. Oh, we're just following what they're telling us. And I'm telling you, don't do that. Take responsibility for your change, right? And what is your role in taking corrective action? Very simple. If you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. Why? Because the system is running fine, right? So you want your future to change? You have to stand up and make a change for yourself. If you're going to sit there and expect somebody else to make the change for you, it's not going to happen. System is running fine without making the change. Correct? So your role in the current situation is critical because you're accepting it. Your role in making a change is critical because you're the only ones that can make a difference. And I'm going to show you very concrete plan, very concrete, simple ways to make the difference, okay? All right, so let's focus on how to plan, how to act, and how to deal with failure. There are 3 different topics. Okay. Anybody has any questions so far? Okay. You live in Bangalore? Sure? Okay. Any of these problems affected you today, yesterday? Yeah? Traffic flow is a problem? Potholes? Broken footpaths? Trash, waste, sewage management? Okay, water table is a serious problem. You may not know it, but it's under the ground, okay? But then what about air quality? And education quality is also issue, okay? But these are problems that you face every day, right? Now, do you have to go read a complicated literature review to understand that this problem is there? No? Do you need a researcher to come and tell you you have potholes in front of your house? You can see it, correct? But the problem is these are what we call wicked problems. Wicked problems is a very special name for these kinds of problems, you know, because they're very difficult to solve. There are hundreds of ways of solving the problems, and they don't have easy solutions. And the idea is that I picked these problems because we don't necessarily want the solution. Because you're individuals, we cannot make a big difference in the problem's solution. But the process of trying to solve the problem will make a difference for you. And I'll show you why it's very important for students like you to make a change, make an attempt, okay? More details. I'm pressing the wrong button. So is traffic flow problem, let's talk about it. Who has seen some complicated traffic problems? Have you seen people going on the wrong side, jumping red lights, blowing horn unnecessarily, overtaking from different side, going left and going right, and all these things you've seen, correct? Is that an engineering problem? Art problem? Then what? Social science problem? Psychology problem? So it turns out these are complicated problems that involve contributions from all the disciplines that we know today. So every one of you has the power to make a solution to change these problems. And I'm going to show you how. Okay? You start by picking one of the problems. Don't tell me that in front of your house I have 9 of those problems in front of my house. I want to solve all 9 of them. Forget that. Pick one focus area, and then I'll tell you what you can do with it. But when you pick it, don't let your parents or teachers change your interest, because this has to be driven by your interest, not by the interest of the teachers and the parents. And the request to the colleges is please support your teachers and students. That is how you can make a change. Well, no further action planning is necessary. You just pick a focus area, make up your mind, you'll make a difference, and that's all you need to do to plan. How hard is that? How hard is that? You don't need the teachers to make a curriculum, you don't need the colleges to have attendance sheets or anything like that. You just pick your focus area and you make up your mind that you want to make a difference for the future of Bangalore. Can you do that? Is it hard? Okay, then what do you do with it? Well, then the problem starts how to act. Correct? Now comes a little more details. Like I said, these are wicked problems, city-scale problems that don't have easy solutions. I know that. But so people will ask the question, why do students have a chance of solving the problem? This problem, when was the traffic problem created? Did you create it? It's been there before you, right? Probably been there before you were born. So what chance do you have to solve it? Well, how many of you know there are 240 colleges in Bangalore? Science engineering colleges and business commerce colleges. Do you know that? 240? Yeah? Did you know there are 10 lakh students in these colleges? Which company has 10 lakh employees? Any company does? Right? So you have massive power. So if you try to solve these problems, that's why I think you have a very good chance of making a solution possible, because your numbers are with you. Now there's more. After you pick a focus area, traffic is a very big problem. Pick something very small. How to make these people coming on the wrong side not come on the wrong side. How to make these people blowing the horn in the traffic light. I mean, everybody waits in a traffic signal, correct? Everybody wants to go, correct? Nobody wants to stay there and camp there. Then why do the people in the back keep blowing the horn? Somehow they're going to make people change. So you pick one small problem that you want to make a difference. And then comes the important question, the important part of this exercise, correct? The important part of the exercise is every class you take, every time you go to a classroom, ask a simple question. How is what I'm learning going to help solve my problem? And believe me, these problems are so complex that everything that you learn will be relevant in some way or the other to solve that one small problem that you picked. Why? Because the problems are hard, but your focus area is small, your problem focus is small. Ask the question, how is it relevant to what I am trying to solve? You have used Google and ChatGPT before? Yes? Use it. Use it to build solutions. Use it to get solution ideas. You don't need complicated solutions. You need solutions that you can probably spend less than what you spend on lunch and dinner when you go with your friends. You can make good solutions with that. And if you need help, ask your teachers. And for the teachers, please try to include some examples in your classes. You have to do the syllabus. I understand you have to cover what is in the syllabus. But you can always include 5 different examples of how what you're teaching is relevant to solving a city problem that your students are interested in. And if you are able to do that, fine. If you are not able to do that, ask for FDP help. I think you should ask your parents to use the good influence they have to find industry mentors. People are working in industry, right? Bangalore is a tech hub. It's got the second largest Silicon Valley name, correct? Somebody should know how to solve these problems, or somebody should know how to guide your solutions. Something should work. So use your friends' network, parents' network, to find mentors who are industry-based. You tell them, what is the use of you working in Google if you cannot help me solve my trash management problem? The small focus thing I can do, correct? And I think it's very important for students to form groups, find like-minded groups, whether they're from your own college or from a different college, it's okay. But find groups like that. Teachers should do the same thing. Teachers should find solutions for groups focus so that they can help test the solutions. I think that's a very important role for teachers. I think parents should understand the importance of solving these problems and encourage the students. And I don't think undergraduate students should be publishing papers. Yeah, it's a very controversial topic. First solve problems, first learn to solve the problems, and then worry about publications later. So I think the teachers should not encourage papers. Students should focus on developing solutions and asking the question, am I building hands-on skills? When I see a new problem, do I feel confident enough to go solve this problem myself without asking for help or going to Google? Initially, you can go to Google, but ultimately, you have to be the one that provides answers on Google, right? And as you're going through this exercise, I think parents and teachers should ask for progress. What difference have you made? Right? What difference have you made? Teachers can design intercollegiate hackathons focused on these problems. Colleges can organize faculty development programs focused on these city-scale problems. And I think this is a way to build a community that can highlight, emphasize working solutions in classes, that can provide entrepreneurship support for 10 best working solutions, yeah? Instead of just doing startups for food delivery or something else like that, yeah? Let's say there are only 5 colleges in Bangalore, 3,000 students in each, yeah? 150,000 students. And let's say only 25% of the students participate. Some of you are sleeping, some of you are listening to doing your smartphone things and all that, right? You're probably not interested. Let's say only out of the 100 people here, only 25 are interested. Well, that means in 6 months, we will probably get 3,700 solutions that we didn't have. And the power of 250 colleges, 10 lakh students is not imaginable, even with 10% participation. So don't think that you're doing nothing by not participating by participating in this, it's not going to make a difference. Now here's the last bit of detail. This thing about coping with failure is very important. First thing you're going to find in problem solving, when you try to solve problems, when you try to implement systems, build systems, things will go wrong. It is normal. There's nothing wrong you're doing. Well, you're probably not applying something carefully. But just encountering the failure is not a terrible thing by itself, right? So, if you don't want failures, there's a perfect recipe. Don't do anything. Just sit under a tree and meditate or something like that. You will see no failures. You will see no growth. You will learn nothing. But you'll be very happy because you're not failing. Is that a good solution? Good. So failures are normal. You have to accept it. Now, somehow I think we have to make sure there's no attendance, there's no grading for these activities, because that will force different kinds of dynamics in the group, right? People have to do it out of interest, and if you cannot find interest to improve your own situation, then I think we're dealing with a different complexity of the problem. If 75% of the students say we're not going to participate, in America we say, very good, no problem, it's your loss. Yeah? You're not going to participate? Fine, less work for me. So let them not participate, it's okay. Let the 25% participate. I'm getting 3,500 solutions, and out of 5 colleges, correct? So you don't want to participate in your future, that's no problem. The very important thing, I'm going to show you a book that you should read. It's not a very expensive book. It's a fairly inexpensive book to get on Amazon. But you should look at failures as growing opportunities. You're all young. If you fail, something was not okay. You can learn from it and grow, become better. And whenever you encounter a failure, there is some weakness within us that it is revealing. You just have to find it. If you cannot do it, get some mentor to help you with it. Get some mentor to help you make a plan how you can avoid the weakness. And that's all you need to do. Yeah? This is a good book. It's written by a psychologist from Stanford University, Carol Beck. It gives you perspective on what is called the growth mindset. It's a way of thinking. And if you read that book carefully, you'll learn that whether you're trying to improve your relationships, your work environment, your study habits, your anything, right? It tells you that failures are common, and failures help you grow, and creating this mindset that growing is good, and every failure is a growth opportunity is a wonderful thing for you to have. Okay, so with that, I'm pretty much done doing my professor job. Right? Helping you understand why hands-on skills are important, why hands-on skills are weak, what is your role, how to plan, how to act, and when you act, failures will happen, how to deal with failures. Right? Okay. But I said I'm going to tell you about 3 different things. Understand, plan to act, and all that, correct? Have I told you everything or not? Yes. Because if you understood everything I've said, you will plan and act. I don't need to tell you how to plan and act. You can do it your way. You can do what is comfortable for you. So I've actually told you about that. And when you act, if you sit and do nothing, nothing will happen. When you act, failures will happen. And I also told you how to deal with failures. Correct? You just keep doing that for a few times. You will see solutions to problems. But more important than solutions to the problems is your approach to learning and your approach to career will change. You will become a better person, you will become a better scientist, better artist, better business person, whatever you want to be. So I would like to summarize and start concluding. So I've told you that hands-on skills are practical, experiential abilities, involve using serious tools, doing serious things like solving problems, conduct experiments, or build systems. But don't forget that it is connecting what theory you learn with real-world applications. That is the important thing. I've shown you examples from olden days, Sushruta, Vishvesvaraya, ISRO, and I've shown you many modern examples that include AI and data visualization. I've told you that hands-on skills empower education, make your education useful, purposeful. Correct? I've told you there are challenges. But again, you should remember the colleges are trying to do the best you can, the best they can. So you cannot expect them to do more or make drastic changes, but you can make big changes by making different behaviors for yourself every day. So there are some pointers here I call call to action, because many people have to participate and many people have to understand. It's not just the students, okay? Why are we focused on Bangalore city problems? Well, it helps everybody. Who's not going to benefit if you have a solution to the traffic problem or the noise problem or the air pollution problem or the water problem, right? Helps everybody. Everybody needs to just step up and participate. You don't need complicated literature reviews to know what to work on. Yeah, you just get up in the morning, look around, and you can find your problem, correct? And when you have a solution, you can check if it's working or not. Straightforward. You don't need complicated research protocols to do that. Every discipline, every area, every person, every undergraduate student to industry professionals, everybody can contribute. And I believe that these city problems are a good basis for organizations to create scholarships and faculty development programs and hackathons, and all these things are very good basis for this. Somehow the way we engage the industry has to change. We have to move from compliance and placement focus to serious skill building mentorship. And mentor means not a title for somebody. Mentor means somebody who can work with you and help you improve. If you are assigned a mentor and you give 2 months and nothing is happening, change. Don't waste your time. Right? Yeah. Mentor is supposed to help you. And industry engagement people should start thinking they have some industry experience and they need to demonstrate value for solving city scale problems. And what they need to do is not make major investments. All they need to do is do effective and compassionate mentoring of young students who want to make a difference. Yep. And I think when the industry people participate in board of studies and things like that, they should try to motivate 20% of the lab activities to be focused on city problems. But that's not for students, but that's for anybody from the industry and senior people from colleges that are here to take away. This is your information for you students. This is your responsibility. If you don't take it seriously, nobody will do it here, okay? And my only question is this. For 25 years, I have seen the exact same students, same people. When we admit you to an American university, you are performing within 6 months. What I don't understand is why you don't perform here. Yeah, it's the same people, nothing different. Yeah? So pick one focus area, no marks, no grades, no attendance. Pick a small problem, use any tools that you want to implement solutions, ask and seek industry-based mentors, solve problems first. Don't care about publications. I'm a research faculty, I have a lot of publications myself, but the advice I'm giving youngsters right now is solve problems. Forget publications right now. First solve problems. When you have important solutions, we can talk about other things. And as you do the work, you understand and accept that failure is normal, and especially when you try new things, if you don't fail, there's no learning. Remember the model I gave you? You don't like failure? Just sit and meditate. No learning, no growth, status quo. Okay? Parents, please take the message back to your parents. Tell them to support your interest. Tell them to help you find mentors and data through their networks. Tell them to ask you for progress. Suppose you want to work on a traffic problem. Ask them. Every month, let them check with you and say, what have you done? It's useful, right? Instead of asking what score did you get on your exam, ask what solution did you create so far and how is it working? And I think without support from parents and encouragement, failure-driven learning is not going to happen. That's a very big cultural change that has to somehow step in, and I think others need to do a lot of different things for that. So my request to teachers is please do not change student interest because it is easier to organize, convenient, and so on. There are some very, very good national examples. The Tinkering Lab is one of them, where the intent of the program was destroyed because the teachers in conjunction with some startup companies created a curriculum for something that had to be exploratory. Don't do that. And forget publication for now. Please try to include city problems in your lectures, design methods for testing. When things get difficult, ask for industry-based mentors to help you. They should be happy to help you. And form teacher groups across colleges to design hackathons that are focused on city problems. That is for the teachers. Colleges, support the teachers. That's all it's saying. And I think you're already doing a lot of these things, hosting hackathons and giving awards and so on. Focus them on the city problems. And finally, to my friends in Bangalore Science Foundation and other community organizations, I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you to host annual lectures and events on city-scale problems. I think it's a way to convene government industry teams to design faculty development programs, because once the faculty are aware, students will benefit. I think you can create scholarships and best awards, best to reward and encourage people. Okay? So with that, what I call to action means stand up and do something, please. Don't just sit there. This lecture part of this talk is over. Okay? So if you have comments or questions or thoughts or anything to share, the floor is open. I don't know how you want to handle that, but if you have any questions, please let me know. Are there any questions, thoughts, comments, something you want to share? Okay, if there are no questions, I will be available for some time. So you're welcome to come and discuss in private. Maybe you're shy to ask in public. So the talk is done. We conclude now. Oh, yes, please. Correct. Well, thank you very much. This is Ms. Chudamani. Mrs. Chudamani and her husband Nagendra, Dr. Nagendra, are here. They have served the country for many, many years. She's a senior journalist. So thank you for asking that question. And she knows the problems because she has children who were like you not many years ago. And so she knows the problems. First of all, you have to recognize, I don't know your name. Is that correct? It's impossible for me to know 150 names in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So if you ask a question and it's a wrong question, what's the problem? I'm not going to have any association with you. Correct? So you ask a wrong question, most likely what I will probably do is I will help you reframe the question so you can ask a more pertinent question. So there is a learning opportunity there. And so if you have a question that you don't know how to express, just say it wrong, it's okay. So some of the students, for example, that come to US from different parts of the countries, different parts of the world, are not very good in communicating in English. In Indian Institute of Science, I work with some students who are from Maharashtra who cannot speak English very well. I supervise 2 projects for master students on them. So I tell them, I don't know any Marathi. I have no clue about Marathi, okay? I tell them, first ask your question in Marathi. And then you translate the Marathi to English. That's a very easy way, right? Because I don't know any Marathi. If they make the translation correctly or wrong, it doesn't make a difference to me. So you have to understand that in at least some environments, there is no judging, there's no grading. I think those are the 2 big barriers to people asking questions and opening up. So that's for you. If you have questions, you don't want to ask in public, you can come and ask me in private. If you want to ask in public, you're welcome to say the wrong thing. It doesn't make a difference, okay? We can help you frame it again. Now, second thing Ms. Chudamani said is, how many of you got training for ChatGPT or Google? Did you go to class? No? Why is it that you were doing it? How come you learned how to do it so easily? Because your friends are doing it. Pardon? Social media. So you understand. So why don't you create a social media group for problem solving of city problems? Then social media will tell you what to do, right? Social media will tell you what to expect. Correct? You also have to think and say, when you go to ChatGPT or Google, somebody created those answers for you that you're benefiting. Correct? When are you going to be the person that provides a solution that others can benefit from? And by doing hands-on activities, you will be able to provide answers like that. Maybe your following will increase. So take that mindset that you are participating in solving a city problem that is benefiting everybody. That, I think, is simplest ways to resolve the complicated questions you asked. Okay, having said all that, is there somebody that would like to ask a question now? Okay, who can help you solve the pothole problem in front of your house? You yourself, correct? Right? So that's why the approach is very simple, I think. It is finding practical problems that we are seeing every day. I don't need authority to tell me I have a pothole in front of my house. I don't need authority to tell me, please spend 10 minutes a day trying to solve your problem. We spend more time than that socializing with friends, right? So all I'm saying is, if you spend 30 minutes a day thinking about one of the serious problems, change will happen. When you have done some work, it will give you confidence with systems. And systems is not just things that you build. Systems are the places in which you learn. Systems are the places in which you interact with people. And you will be able to speak with confidence because you have your own experience to share. Correct? This laser pointer is no good. This is my experience, correct? I am allowed to say what I want to say about this laser pointer. You don't have to agree. You see that? I think that's the key. Don't go to authority people because they're busy. They have other things to do. They have to manage 95 things. So take responsibility for your own success, for your own learning. Find a small problem that you want to work on and work on it. And use your social media to share your experience. That's it. Are there others that would like to add any detail to the solutions? Okay, students have any questions or thoughts or comments? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. No problem. I'll put it here. You would like to write it? Okay. Pretty good.
You can write in a piece of paper and pass it. Yeah? Please sit. On behalf of National College and the Bangalore Science Forum, I thank Sir Dr. Shivkumar Sastry Sir for being here today, delivering this lecture, and also enlightening our students, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I know some students, they do want to ask something, little hesitant. They are very new to us. This is only the third day of the session. They are all coming from different colleges here. So being a third day, I think a little hesitant they are, but they will come up. If they have any queries, they will hand it over to me. In turn, I will just pass it to you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I also would like to thank our madam, Sucharita madam, who is here. She is the secretary for Bangalore Science Forum, always with us, very enthusiastic. She is organizing various lectures for us, including for teachers and students. I thank you, madam, on behalf of our college and Science Forum. I thank all the audience who is present here, who are our guests for today. Thank you for coming to Bangalore Science Forum. We do have lectures. It has been posted in the group. Kindly do come and encourage all this. I thank all the students, also the faculty members for joining this session. Thank you. Thank you. So, students, be seated here. The next session will be after a break. I'll let you know. Be seated here.
Now my American training.